let's play with some textures and colours with the Yorkshire button. So I have ran a little experiment with ribbon. So this is a flat Yorkshire button, and I have used ribbon this time to make it with, and then I've used different stitches and different colours, 2 colours in fact on this one, and 2 different stitches to make this one. This one has several types of stitches also. This one I've changed the colours by just using a variegated thread, multicoloured thread, which is this one. And this one I have used 2 different colours, and 2 different stitches as well. The second colour was also a multicoloured one, so it looks like I've used many more colours, but I've used only 2, one multicoloured one and a green one, and that one's made out of cotton, as opposed to this one was tapestry wool. This one was crochet cotton, and like I said, this one was ribbon. And then this one, which I've made in the shape of a pumpkin, is made with 2 different colours also. So I started with the green for the middle, and then the pumpkin orange. So this one, the 2 colours have been added in the round, swapped in the round, rather than this one, the 2 colours, and this one as well. The 2 colours were added so that the stripes were vertical instead. And this is what I am now going how to make. You're going to need one of your looms, whichever size you want. So I'm using the number 5. 2 different types of threads or wool, depending on what you're using. So 2 different colours, 2 lots of needles, scissors, maybe a clip, and some fillers. The first thing that you need to do is to thread the needles. So I'm going to thread this one, on the ball so it's still attached, and this one I want keep it attached. I'm going to measure 2 arm lengths, and then I can always adjust another time. So I've done that, and I just need to thread it so it's ready to go. So the one that you're keeping on the ball, this is the one that you're going to use to do the warping. So I'm going to start with warping with one colour, and then I'll add the other colour after. So same as in the main video. Where I'm threading it through the hole. Hopefully the camera wants to stay focused. And then I just want to make sure that the tail is not too big. So There we go. And then the rest of it can come through. So this is still too big, in fact. Right, so just move the needle out of the way and let's go for the warping. So I'm going to start with number 1 as per usual. So number 1, and then number 10, 19, number 8. So it's always the even numbers at the bottom, the odd numbers at the top. So this wool, I think, is a DK. It is probably just a little bit too thick for the number 5, but it's okay. I'll be able to use it. It's not a very thick DK, so I think that was just a leftover that I had from a magazine somewhere. So it's not exactly the best quality either, but it'll do. I'm doing them far too tight actually. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I've already done that one. So yeah, I'm already halfway through. There we go. I'm just hoping they're all going to stay properly on their little notches, just because the wool is quite thick. I think you can see that. I'm struggling a little bit. There we go, got there in the end. Okay, so now I can take out a couple of arm lengths as well of this one. I don't think I'll need more than that. So that's it, that's out the way. I'll move the needle a little bit further away. Oh, I didn't need the clip in the end. There we go. Let's do the securing just to make sure. I think it just neatens it a little bit as well when you do the cross stitch to secure the middle. So there we go. Back on number 1. And then I'm going to number 5 or number 6, it doesn't really matter. Number 5 is absolutely fine on this one. And it's exactly a quarter, so it kind of works out well. And then on number 15, we're going over. There we go. You can see that it's not the greatest of wool because it's split in quite a bit there. So and then this can go back into the number 1 slot. Okay, so now we've done the warping, so we just need to add our second colour so that it's ready to go. So what you do is that you put your needles through the back, making sure that you're not catching the tail. from the other colour, and then you just try and oops, so it's only to go on to number 2 once it comes out the other side. So I'm just going to bring it out here for now, and then I can adjust it and take it to the place that I need to take it to. If you want to have the centre to have 2 colours, then you could always do another lot of cross stitch, but I'm not doing that because I don't want to do that. So there we go. And there we go. So if you try and conceal it on the inside. Okay, so at the moment this one can go to one side, and all I do is usually I just hold it all together in my hand just so that it's out of the way, and I keep this on this side so that it's not going to be in the way. And I'm going to start with doing the green. So to be able to get this result, you basically need to wrap every other spoke, as opposed to normally if you do the one colour, you're going to wrap one spoke, then the next and the next and the next. So in this one we're going to wrap the one that's to the left of number 1, and then we're going to skip the one that's to the left of number 2, and wrap the one that's to the left of number 3, and so on. So we're going to wrap all the ones that are on the left of the odd numbers, and then once we've done that, we'll move on to the other colour and wrap all the ones that are to the left of the even numbers. So I'll do the first round on here to show you. So obviously I'm already to this side of number 1, and I want to wrap this one. So as per the main video, if you've already had a look at this one, I'm guiding my thread so that it goes over the spoke, but I'm guiding my needle so that it goes under the spoke, under the following one as well, and then under the third one, because then I'm going to be wrapping the third one. Making sure also that I don't trap it so that it's going to not make a blanket stitch, because this is not what we want. And obviously this is exactly what I've done. Let me unravel this. There we go. So what you can do is use your needle to move the yarn or thread or whatever you're using down so that it's actually wrapping as close to the center as possible. Okay, so now we want to wrap the one to the left of number 3, so we go under number 3, under number 4, and under number 5, because we're skipping number 4. There we go. Now we want to wrap number 5, so we go under all 3 of them. Again, and then move it to the center so that it's better covered. Carry on. So we've just done the one to the left of number 7. And we're doing the one to the left of number 9. There we go. There we go. So we've gone all the way to from number 11 to number 13. So now we're doing number 13. So we're going all the way to number 15. From number 13, from number 15, sorry, to number 17. Because we're skipping all the even numbers. So to the left of 17 and all the way to 19. So we have now done pretty much the whole round. So I'm just going to wrap number 19, which is the last one, and I'm going to bring it back to number 1 just to finish the round. There we go. So that's the first round done. So you can always adjust again if needs be. So now this pink color is going back to this way, whilst the green one goes to the left. So now if you remember, oh hold on, I've twisted them together, so you just need to make sure that it is properly out the way. So if you remember, we have skipped all the even numbers, so now this is the numbers that we want to wrap. So to the left of all the even numbers, this is the ones that we are going to wrap. So I'm wrapping over number 2, so I've gone to the left of number 2 and all the way to number 4, to the left of number 4 and all the way to number 6. I'm not actually watching the camera, so I'm hoping that it's staying in focus all the time. There we go, to number 8. So I'll finish doing this round so that you can see a complete round with both colours, and then I will complete further rounds with away from the camera, just to keep this video relatively short. There you go. So we're now doing to the left of number 12 and going to number 14. To the left of number 14 up to 16. Left of 16 to 18. And we're almost complete. We've got just number 20 to finish after that. So to left of 18 and up to 20. So I've not really pushed them quite far enough in the middle, but to the left of 20, and we're bringing it back to number 2 to complete this round. So there we go. So both colours are back to where they started, at number 1 and number 2. I'm just trying to push them a little bit more. So off camera, I'm going to complete a further 2 complete rounds. So one complete round is basically when you've gone around with both colours. Okay, so I'm back and I have completed my full 3 rounds. I don't know whether you can actually see, there's 1, 2, 3 of the, you can see the pink one easier than you can the green one. But yeah, so I've completed my 3 rounds. So now what I want to do is I want to use a different stitch for a different texture, and also I want to only use the pink one to have just a row of pink. So I'll do 2 rows, in actual fact 2 rounds I should say. So we're moving the green one out of the way, and the pink one's finished on number 2, so this is where we'll start from. So the stitch that we're going to do is basically the same, but instead of going over 1, we'll be going over 2, so that we'll be wrapping 2 spokes at once. So normally I would put my needle here so that I go under number 2, but because I want to wrap 2, I'm going to go underneath number 1, and we're still going under 3 like we have been doing today so far with all the other rounds, but we're not skipping any, it's just that we're wrapping 2 at once. So I'm going under 1 to the left of 1, the 1 to the left of 2, and the 1 to the left of 3. There we go. So that's the first 2 spokes wrapped. So now I want to wrap this one and this one. So I'll go back 2 effectively and forward 3. So I end up coming out on number 4. My apologies for that. I hope I didn't cough too loud in the mic. There we go. So back 2, forward 3. Back 2, forward 3. No, I'm not going to keep saying it. So it's actually filling the because the wool is actually quite thick, so the loom is filling up quite quickly, so I might end up doing just 1 row. I'll see how it goes. Or what I could do actually is finish with a couple of rows of the green one only, yeah, just to make a different pattern. So yeah, we're here to experiment, so experimenting we shall do. So again, this number 9, because the yarn is really not of a good quality at all, and it's splitting before I even start using it, it's come a little bit loose around the teeth, so I just need to try and put it back. So back 2, forward 3. So hopefully it'll stay there at least until we can finish this button. But yeah, I'm not really happy with that. So let me try and put it back. There we go. That's better. I mean, I suppose if that happens, you can always put a little clip just to keep them on properly, and then it'll keep it there. So it tightens it a little bit, so it might make it a little bit more difficult to complete your round, but so what I was going to say as well, if you wanted to experiment further, what you could have done is add a third colour, so through the middle, and then make it go underneath the rounds already completed, and then make this different stitch in a third colour, and maybe even finish the rest of the. So you could actually do like I don't know, like for example a flower pattern. So do use a yellow for the warp, then finish the warp with the yellow, then add another colour, so let's say a light pink and a white to do the stripes, and then that makes petals. And then if you finish, you could finish with a row of white in the different stitch, and then add green and finish the rest of the button with the green to do the stem basically of the flower. So that could be an idea for another experiment. I wish I'd thought about that before I started this one, but yeah, the possibilities are endless. There we are. And then I think I'll just do the one row and then finish off the whole button with just the green. Just to do a different design. So I've got one more to do, which is this one. So what I'll do is that because I'm going to finish with this colour, so I'm going to go straight towards the middle, so that then I can pass it through the I think that might be a little bit difficult because it is quite tight with it being quite thick. So what I'll do is that I'll just leave it like that, and then once, right, now that I've gone there, yeah, I'll try and finish it off now. There we go. So straight through to the other side, which means that it's going to place my needle is not quite long enough, so it's quite difficult to grab hold of on the other side. There we go. So then I can snip it so that it's not in the way. There we are. So I've done with this one, and now I'm going to carry on with just the green. Okay, so with the green we finished on this side of the last row, so we just need to bring the green back towards the other side. There we go. So now we're in the right place. And now what we want to do is go back 2. So 1, 2. That's over 2. No, that's fine. There we go. So back 2, forward 3. There we are. Back 2. If we put this one out the way, it'll be easier. Forward 3. There we go. I think I should be able to do a couple of rounds, although it does look like it's going to be a little tight, but we will try. So that's where as well you can experiment with your looms, the loom size compared to the thread or yarn weight. There's an awful lot of experimenting that you can do really with the Yorkshire button. There we go. Back 2, forward 3. Obviously this is in the way. I think I should be okay with leaving it off for now. There you are. I might have to go, yeah, I just need to go forward 2, and then the third one is here. It's only because it's a little bit tight at the minute, because we're near the end. So yeah, this might be the very last row. So 2, forward 3. Two, forward 3, and carry on. And then after this video there will be just one more on the Yorkshire button, but this time using yo-yos as well, or Suffolk puffs. And this will be to show you how to make the new kit, which is coming out on Monday. So there's been a bit of a delay in how I do things, but or how I initially wanted to do them, but it doesn't really matter. There could be one of the buttons this year that along the year that's going to take, you know, not going to warrant a full month, and therefore it'll give me time to do maybe another one. Okay, so this is it. This is where I started. So let me see, could I do another row? I think I could, because there's quite a lot of room there left. So it's quite full this side, but there's still quite a bit more room on that side, so I will do another one. And that's little bit yet. So I think I've possibly not done my tension all that well, but the yarns as well were slightly different thickness, so I just need to go and do the third one, but I couldn't do that because it was a bit too tight. There we go. So I'm just under 2 at the moment, so I need to come under the third one. And my dog barking again. I don't think she's done much else today. There you are. So it's getting a little bit easier to go under all 3 at once, because there is a little bit more room on this one. So that's the one that splits, so I need to just be careful with that one, that I don't catch any extra fibres. So there. There. We're getting there. Almost finished. And then I just need to decide which button I'm going to tackle next. I think it will probably be the Dorset button, the type, the ring and thread one initially, and then followed by the other type of Dorset buttons. I've got a list already of what I was going to do, but well, lists aren't made to be followed. Okay, so this is the very last one. So this one I'm gonna. Oh no, it doesn't go underneath there, does it? So it only needs to go under 2 anyway, this one, because this is the last one before we take it off the loom. There we go, so we're finished on that. So now it can all come off the loom, so I think it should be fairly easy, because they all wanted to come off earlier. Yep. And they're not exactly splitting, so that's good, apart from the ones that were already split. And then after a little while you can just remove it just like that. So there we go, that's the front, and this is how it looks in the back, which is not bad at all either. So, and you can see this is the bit that I finished earlier when I finished the pink one. So last thing that we need to do is to weave this in and out of the loops. So I'm not going to do it completely there so that I know where I started. So there we go, we're almost back where we started. So this is the loop where I started, so I'm going to do one more and under there, and then just pull it all up, and this one. There we go. So I'm just going to start pulling on it so that it forms a little cup, so that I can then put some of the filler inside. So I'm just using some wool roving again. This is the filler that I prefer generally, but you can use any type of filler. Toy filler, polyester, scraps of wool and threads and fabric that you have maybe from left over from projects. So if you cut them really small, then they can fit in maybe in the bigger buttons. Might be more practical for those. Right, let's try and keep this. So I'm not putting any token in this one because it is literally just a button, which I want to try and round a little bit more. There we go. And then we're just going to close it up. Sorry, it's getting mixed up with my other thread. There we go. So just close it up by weaving it. Or doing like a zigzag. I think that's probably more the correct way to explain it. Do a bit of a zigzag to close it. So I'm changing the shape slightly of this one because of my zigzag, so I'm going to zigzag in the other way. Because at the moment it's gone a little bit oval shaped. So I'm going to weave in and out of these ones. I'm not sure I'm going to manage to get the shape back, so, but that's just because of the way that I did my, I closed it up, and now I've gone over a knot. There we go. But we can try. think I've got another knot that's coming up there. There we go. Yeah, that's because it's splitting. There we go. So one more weave in and out. Remind me not to use this particular one for making buttons with. Right, let's have a look. Right. I think I've probably stuffed it too much as well, so it's a bit more difficult to work a shape. But I think this will do. So it's not perfect, but then it doesn't have to be. I think the most important bit is that I really enjoyed myself making it. So cut it quite close, and there we are. So this is one where you could put like I've done on this one, you could put a snap fastener on it so that you can swap buttons or remove them before they go in the wash, before the garment goes in the wash. But yeah, there we go. So camera, come on. There we go. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed that.